Hi, it's nice to have you here again. Today is day 5 of our video challenge. We're talking about all things that have to do with remote working. Yesterday, I talked about the tools that are my favorite tools that I use for working. And I guess naturally, there are different reasons why some people don't find working remotely attractive or working from home, whatever title you choose to give to it. So today I'm going to talk to you about some of the challenges that a lot of people experience or have shared with me, or I myself have experienced in the course of working from home. The first one that everybody complain about is the fact that staying at home or working from home could make one lazy. You could start to overeat because you don't move a lot and you're stuck at home, or you don't have the discipline of going out or commuting, and you start to add weight. So, one of the things that is impacted or challenges where people struggle is with their health. People work long hours because if they're not disciplined and they don't define time for working, when work starts and when work ends, they are born to overwork themselves and they end up in a burnout. You may also end up with back pain. Sometimes your eyes can be sore because you're always looking at the screen. So, number one thing that is impacted is your health. Number two is connectivity issues. If you live in Nigeria as I do, there are 1,001 challenges that people face when it comes to connecting to the internet. It could be a problem from your ISP. It could be like the fact that there's a loss of power because the power company is not providing like regularly. You have to use generator. And the cost of even having access to data to be able to power your internet is also a problem. It's expensive, except you're in a place where you have fiber connection. But even that too, relatively, when you cost it, is expensive, which is why people always like to go to the office where they have shared data and they can use. Power is a big problem. People use alternative power like inverters, solar, or different kind of source of power to power their PC. If you have children also too, though children are a blessing, but they can be a source of distraction. If you are working from home, they want attention, they need your attention. And truly, I should give this attention to your children. They can actually hamper you working from home. The many people before the pandemic broke out actually never saw themselves working from home. The the setup of their offices or their home or the place where they need to work are just not conducive for working remotely properly. So they've had to make investment in new furnitures or having to redesign the way their room looks like. So yes, that can have an impact. You can even have noisy neighbors. Um, they are shouting, they are screaming, they are playing loud music. Children are running around the compound, or whatever the case is. Or you could be living in a place where you're not the only person living in that residence. So the movement of your neighbors or the interactions that they make will actually be a source of distraction for you when you are working from home. The number one issue that employers complain about is the fact that they're worried that they're not sure what their employees are doing. So there's also a issue of trust, right? You don't know what kind of games people are playing behind the scene. So it's something that gives a lot of people headache. There's also too the feeling of disconnection that people feel because they are far away from their colleagues. They cannot have those human interactions genuinely as they would love to do. They want to be able to watch people's body language. They want to be able to go out for lunch with people, etc. Loneliness is one of those things they complain about. I should have even mentioned that under the category of health. Yes, there's also the impact of your mental health. If you work too long at home without having human interactions with people, it may start to get to you. The second problem that business owners worry about is that of security. Yes, your data, if not well managed, without proper security, may fall into wrong hands. Hackers can easily get onto your network and compromise your network. So that itself also too is also an area of concern and a place of challenge. There's also the issue of information overload. You just get bogged down with so many things. I mean, there's a new phrase in town that people get zoomed as they've stayed so much on online conference calls, webinars that it can be jarring. It can be a jarring experience. So yeah, that's another thing that people worry about. Lastly, is the issue of privacy. Uh, Depending on who you're speaking to, because because employers sometimes are not sure what employees are doing, they need to monitor them. So they need to use monitoring tools. So people feel that their privacy is being invaded. People can call you at odd times to come and get work done. You don't really have a closing time. That's if you are not very firm in what do you call it, dealing with your colleagues. So these are the top 10 things that are a major challenge for a lot of people working from home. I'm sure you have some other ones that I may not have mentioned. Please remember to put them down in the comment section. If you find any of this information that I've shared here useful, please let me know. I actually have solutions to some of these things that have been described here. I just thought I should share some of the problems with you. You will see some of them in my online training, or maybe in another video that I shoot. Till I see you tomorrow, remember to click on the notification button, right? So that you can get alerted once I've uploaded a video. Thanks and bye for now.